Good morning, afternoon, evening, nighttime, random county. Welcome to another episode of the Random Roulette Podcast. I am your host, the Cat's Whiskers, and I am joined by the ever spooky Suki.
You're not the bee's knees.
No, I'm also not the Cat's Pajamas. I'm just the Cat's Whiskers.
The cat sucks.
Do you ever find a random whisker for your cat and then put it in their forehead and make them a unicorn?
No, but I do put them somewhere if I do find them. I think I have a collection of 4. If that tells you how many times I've found them. It's not a lot. Not a lot.
They always end up on my bed because that's where a lot of my cats sleep. Also, they're little like fish hook claws, like how they
I find
claws.
those all over the fucking place.
Like they're sharp even when they're off of them.
What?
It's like what is it? It's like there's an old folk tale that if you find a copperhead, you have to cut off the head, but also bury it because there's still poison in the head and it'll still kill you or something like that.
Oh yeah, their jaws will still snap. It's the same with rattlesnakes, I think. Right?
Yeah. So the same thing with a cat's claw. Even if it's off them, it'll still cut you. Which I don't know if you've seen, but fucking Bitey, Climby, one of them.
You deserve that.
Yeah, he was getting into the vents in my house.
Getting into the vents?
Yeah.
How the hell?
Because he climbs on fucking everything. And he clawed the shit out of my hand.
What fucking vent do you have open?
So, my basement is just kind of dumb. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. There's a pass-through from the laundry room to where the water heater is. And he was climbing on top of the water heater and up into all that bullshit.
What the fuck?
And then trying to get into the vents.
Cats.
Yes.
They do be like that. So what have you been up to?
Well,
it's only been a week, I guess.
It really has been a week. The weather got nice, so that's awesome. I unplugged my Christmas lights. So I'm taking them down finally this weekend.
That shit went from -20 to 50 in 3 days.
It was 60 today.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Absolute bullshit.
Mm-hmm. News around town. Not a whole lot is going on because it's fucking February.
Yeah.
So it's kind of strange because there's people that are out, but they don't know what to do because there's no events because it's not spring or summer or anything.
Yeah.
There's no farmers markets for another until the spring.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. My mom and dad always referred to this time of the year as Fool's Spring. It's it's really nice, and then in 2 weeks it's gonna snow again.
It's a trap.
It is a trap. So we're enjoying our Fool's Spring right now.
Yes. I've been running around all over the place.
Yeah.
I went to Lincoln for a few hours.
What the fuck?
Let's see. What the fuck? I mean, my dad's been coming into town a lot, and he's like, "You're not fucking doing anything, so you get to come hang out with me today."
Hang out with
all right,
Greg.
I guess we'll go to the 411 and have I don't. Did I talk about this last week or
I think
the
you
week
did.
before? Where he likes London fogs, and I was befuddled about that.
No, we talked about it. I don't think we talked about it in the air.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah, 'cause it was what?
He was like, "I like this tea thing with almond milk in it," and I was like, "What now?" Yeah, this lady, she recommended me this tea thing, and it was really good, and I really liked it, but I wanted to try it with amaretto in it. I was like, all right, cool. Amaretto is one of our favorite boozes. I was like, all right. Trying to figure out what the hell he was talking about. And he was like, yeah, it's black tea, I think. And I was like, all right, was it Earl Grey tea or and he's like, I don't know.
What does that mean?
God damn it. I was like, was it spicy? Because I was thinking maybe a chai latte. I was like, that would make sense. He was like, no. It was just tea. And I was like, there's a million different types of tea. Which one? Good. So yeah, and we got there, and the lady was. I ordered them because I was like, I bet it's a London fog. Mm-hmm. There's no way. It's got to be. And we ordered them with amaretto shot in them. Ooh. And the lady that had recommended it to him came around. She was like, "Oh, did you get that London fog again?" And I was like, "I knew it."
Amaretto is it a butterscotch?
No, it's almond.
Almond, that's right.
Almond
I
flavor.
knew that.
Which I personally like almond flavor in everything. I put it in like anything I bake. I put just a
Almond's good.
little smidgen in there.
Yeah.
I feel like it goes really good with vanilla too.
Yeah.
It's like a good taste to go along with that. So
Also,
then you
I
don't
feel
get
like
too
almond
much.
doesn't have the insane sweetness that like peanut. Well, you don't like peanut at all.
Yeah, I don't like peanut.
But like other nuts have like like cashews are naturally very sweet, but almonds I don't think are, at least to me.
I don't know. They make almond milk.
Yes, very good.
That's it. That's all I know.
Oh, speaking of tea, I found out a very interesting trivia thing about tea.
Oh God. Here we go.
So, you ever think that like water purification is kind of like a new thing?
It's not though.
Well, yeah, but like seeking out clean water, yes, but actually like being able to purify water.
No. People have been doing that for ages with charcoal.
Yeah,
Like a long ass time, especially in Japan.
yeah.
For tea specifically.
Well, there's a study done at Northwestern University in Evanston, Illinois, member of the Big Ten Conference,
Boo.
that black tea steeped for a long time in a cellulose bag. Those are like the best of this study will actually filter out heavy metals. Like not only just like, bacteria and bad stuff, but
Weird.
like you can actually put like lead laden water and then like the tea itself will actually absorb it. And by the time that you're done with your tea, there's less detectable lead like in the tea.
Yeah, but if you brew black tea for over 5 minutes, it's not good. Why would you?
Well,
Why?
that or lead poison. Well, no, I just found it really interesting that brewing tea not only like infuses, but it also can like absorb things. I think as opposed to like beer, like when you make beer, like everything that's in the water stays in the beer.
Oh, yeah.
That's why like Mexican lager tastes like Mexican lager and not American lager because it's actually made with different water.
Yeah, different water.
So then the tea would be universal. It doesn't matter where you make it. Tea should taste like tea.
No. It doesn't. No.
No, like where, like how, yes, like how hot the water is and how long you steep it will change flavor of the tea. But
Yeah. But even like different tea, like black tea from different regions is completely different. I don't know. Like I get where you're trying to go with it. Like it should taste the same because of the water, but it was never really about the water. But I mean, they would put charcoal in the water to filter all that shit out first anyways.
Yeah. Well, it's actually kind of like a very pinky out culinary thing. You want purest ingredients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was like I watched this chemist on the medias, and he'll do like a bunch of wild and wacky stuff and make gold and deconstruct gold and then make gold again and all kinds of other shit. But
Oh yeah, he does all the shorts on YouTube. He kind of has like a really nerdy voice.
yeah.
So I had
Might be
this
the
bottle
same.
of
Yeah, that guy.
Okay.
Shit, now I forgot.
I don't even know what his name is.
Oh, he made a scientifically pure cookie.
Okay.
And they said it was gross. It was disgusting.
So I've always said that like cooking is an art, baking is a science. Just because there actually is a lot of chemistry that goes into baking, specifically like bread. Like I've tried to make homemade bread before. I've been successful a couple of times, but I just don't have like the talent for it because I like to fudge recipes. Well, baking.
I mean, I do that with baking all the fucking time.
Yeah, but like if you accidentally like add too much baking powder like to cookies, then like you end up with like fizzy bullshit. Like they're too big, and then yeah.
I mean, sometimes I kind of just throw shit together. Yeah, and like all of my shit's turned out pretty all right so far. And I've even like salvaged some shit that has gone wrong for other people.
Yeah.
Like somebody tried to make a cake and it didn't go well. So I made like the cake pops out of them instead.
Rad.
Because all you have to do is add some frosting to it and it sticks together better.
Huh.
And roll them and put them on a stick. Or just roll them and put like whatever frosting shit you want on there, whether that be white chocolate or other bullshit. I don't know, whatever you want. So I've done that. I also just throw like random flavors at baking stuff too, like just
like
crazy shit.
So you put the tea in the cookies.
Yeah,
Like,
I did
that was
I
fucking
did
rad.
the I
That
did
was
the
amazing.
I did the matcha cookies, and then I did the London fog cookies, which I got to use my
Mortar and pestle.
for the first time, which was awesome. Those turned out
You
really
seem to
good.
be struggling with that word. I didn't mean to just jump in it. Yes, that.
Make the noises that it makes. So yeah, I don't know, and I feel like I'm not very good at cooking because it's almost too broad. Where it's just like do some shit and figure it out, and it's like I will do it wrong.
Well, okay, so cooking does allow for experimentation quite a bit, but there are like certain families of things, but that's like fusion foods exist and they're awesome. One thing that I guess people don't quite understand was when a recipe says salt to taste, like that's literally based on you.
Yeah.
It's you keep adding salt until it tastes good to you.
Yeah.
Like that's what salt to taste means. Like it's like, well, is that a tablespoon? Is that 2 tablespoons? Like no, just as much as you want until it tastes good. Like
Yeah, like how I cook is I cook things based on smell. So like any spice,
that's true though. Yeah.
any spice stuff, and it's like add such and such spice or whatever, and I'll like add those things, but then I'll go sniffing around in our spices, and I'm like, this smells like it'd probably be all right with this. So I just throw some of that in.
Well, I'll also try to seek out like weird things. I've tried to make tonkatsu donas with rice. Pork tonkatsu. It's the pork cutlet over rice.
Yeah.
But then like you have to have like everything at the right temperature, but like you have the fried pork cutlet, but like you crack an egg over the top of it and like the egg makes it all stick together.
See, I don't know if that's actually for real Japanese.
I mean, the first time I ever had it was at a Japanese restaurant. Granted, it was in Grand Island, Nebraska.
Yeah,
but
I don't know if that's
no, that's a real thing.
actually legit. That might be like an Americanized thing, is what I'm saying.
Possible.
Because most of the time when you get it over in Japan, it is just like the crisp stuff, and that's it.
You know,
So it's like super crisp, and
Japanese put eggs on everything.
I know, but like if they would have an egg, it'd be underneath it, not on it.
Oh. There's also like daishi broth, which is like
Oh
fish.
yeah, I have some fucking that I need to make upstairs still.
But like you
Bought,
fry
like,
it
a whole
in.
bag of. What the fuck was that?
Someone murdering something.
Well, oh no, it's probably Aurora on jumping on the.
Oh, and it's the table scooting around. Yeah, that's
the
definitely
table.
her.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, what the fuck?
Miss Kitty.
I forget about that. She gets on the chairs on the back porch too that are metal, and
Yeah.
like it'll whap against the house and be like,
what's going on?
"What was that?" See, like you can't have ghosts if you have cats because
No, I definitely do have ghosts because like I was just laying in bed, getting ready to do the sleeps, and like all 3 kitties are on the bed, somehow miraculously they aren't fighting, and I hear one of them like out in the living room was like fucking around, and I was like, 1, 2, 3 kid. Which one of you isn't here? Like,
it's probably from earlier fucking around and shit fell.
possibly. Actually, yeah.
That happens a lot too.
Also, there's like so my house is always just a mess because it's in constant flux of everything. But there's like a doll in my living room now, and I don't know where the fuck it came from.
What kind of doll?
Like a precious, not a precious moment, like kind of like a Cabbage Patch thing. Like it's got like a hard plastic head and like a soft like fabric body, and it's just laying. I'm like, I don't know where the hell this came from. So I'm not touching it for a while. Like, Yeah.
Maybe somebody put it in there on purpose.
Was it you?
It was not me. I don't know. I haven't been to your house in a while, actually.
Oh, it's because I need to
Oh, that's not true.
get me shit together.
When was the last time I was there? It was to watch the cats, I think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
So it was after you got cats. The cats. Did you
Yes. Yeah, it was right around Christmas.
Oh, yeah, you were gone
So
for
it's gone.
Christmas. Yeah. And we weren't because somebody was on
It was
call.
here.
Yeah. Trying to think of other shit. Oh, did you know that bananas are slightly radioactive?
Yes.
And if you eat like 40 of them, they will set off alarms.
Yeah. There's I think it's actually called like the banana scale, which is like how many bananas you would have to eat for this amount of radiation. I think you can actually get a lethal dose if you eat like 440 bananas but you'll actually die of like diabetes like before
Yeah,
that.
or like your stomach will burst.
Yeah,
first.
like it's not. You'll die of other things before you die of radiation.
Radiation. Why is it the bananas? Though? I wonder.
I don't know.
Is there other fruit too? I wonder. Methinks.
I do know that things that are naturally purple will give off like they'll set off like a Geiger counter if they're like right up against it.
Isn't that only like two things? It's grapes and aubergines, eggplants. I didn't think about that for a second. I was like, "What's the other?"
Yes, what, I don't, oh, here's a trick, and it actually works especially because you're studying Japanese. Is if you ever are like drawing a blank about a word, but you kind of know what it means, just say, "I can't remember the English word for it." But aubergine. It's like, yes.
Aubergine.
God damn it.
It's gonna. I watched too many like.
Because you're British.
Well, okay, so I did watch. My dad and I did watch a lot of like British TV when I was growing up, and like that was my first exposure to Doctor Who as well.
Oh hell yeah. Mr. Bean.
And then I just watched so much different television.
Yeah.
Like I watched a lot of British television and
Top
a lot
tier.
of a lot of Asian stuff and some French stuff. Although I've never picked up any French whatsoever.
Oh really?
No. French is confusing. Japanese makes sense. French is confusing.
No, French is just speaking Spanish, but in cursive.
Oh yeah, no, I had a hard time with Spanish too. I took Spanish in high school for like a year, and I was like, I can't do this.
No.
Nope.
Learning French is great, especially if you because like I took the bullshit Spanish in high school, so like I understood what I understood how to like decode Romance languages. It's verb conjugations and stuff like that. And so, like, the first year of learning French, it's like, here's all the rules. And the second year of French is, none of these rules mean anything.
Means nothing. I mean, that's kind of how Japanese is, too. They're like, oh, here's all your, like, particles and shit between all your stuff. But if you're talking to someone, nah, you don't need them. Fuck it.
Well, I mean, that's that one dude that we keep sending the memes back and forth to in Japanese.
Yeah, those guys are funny. I like that.
I know that you're, like, subscribed to him and all this stuff, and I always say that you've already, like, liked things, but I still send them to you anyway because they're just hilarious. That way it helps out both of our algorithms, so it pops up more. But, yeah, where he's like, say he threw something off the edge of the bridge, and it's like it's all, like, the same words over and over again. But it's like... like the phrase can in English, that makes sense. You just have to know what it fucking means.
Yeah.
And that's...
Well, it's like there's a lot of those because a lot of the stuff has the same way to say it, like kanji-wise, and it's like there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
And it's lovely when you get to listening because you don't know which one they're talking about sometimes, and it makes things fun. Then you have to listen to more stuff and be like, oh, it's actually talking about this, and not. So like the one that I can think of off the top of my head is hashi. It's chopsticks. And it's also bridge.
Yes.
And that one gets real confusing sometimes.
The one of the biggest problems I have with Japanese is that there's a lot of inflection and it means different things.
Sometimes you can kind of get away with it. As a learning person, the inflection doesn't matter so much because they know what you mean. Like, if you're talking about eating your food, they're not going to assume you're talking about going across the bridge.
But in English, inflection is just punctuation. Like if I say you're coming, that's a command that ends in a period. But if I say you're coming,
yeah, I mean
that's a question.
They have that too.
Yeah.
That's the same thing that they got over there. Like that's when you can remove. You end a question with the ka.
Yeah.
Ka. That's ka. So you end your question with that. But like if you're talking to someone and you do that rising intonation, you're gonna know it's a question even though they leave out that particle. So yeah, a lot of the speaking part is hard. The reading and the writing is a lot easier for me. Speaking and listening is not so good. Is hard. That's the hard part.
Yeah, but that's the skill that you need the most.
No, for me, I don't. I don't need that.
Well,
at
I guess
all.
yeah, you can.
I'm
You
gonna
can,
do.
like, read signs.
I'm gonna
and
do
stuff.
written and I'm gonna mostly do written stuff, and that's it. So.
Oh, well, I was like, well, if you actually ever talk to someone who's Japanese, you'll have to be able to hear them talk.
Yeah.
And understand what they're saying.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's fun. It's all fun. Fun in games, really. You just keep hammering away at it until you want to put your head through a wall.
As is tradition.
Oh, yes. As it goes. As it goes. I've been playing guitar more again, and bass a little bit.
Hell yeah, so was I. Getting good.
I don't need a bass player.
But
I have one.
I've always liked bass.
I already have one of those already.
Well, why'd you start a band without me?
You can't have double bass players in a band. I don't think that works.
Oh, you definitely can.
I don't want to deal with that.
So what's the difference between a 6-string bass and just like a 6-string guitar?
The gauge of the strings.
Yeah, I know. I
110%.
know.
Gauge of strings.
But you can do the same things.
Big old bong strings on bass. And guitar has more little bing strings. Bing, bing, bing.
You know, that explanation actually makes sense. I hate it, but yes, that is true.
Bing, bing, bing. Or bong, bong, bong. That's the difference. That's the only difference. There you go. The 5-string bass and a 6-string bass will have more low strings. Not the other way.
I see.
The low or the highest string on the bass is the same as the low string on the guitar. So you can't go any lower.
What?
Or you can't go any higher. Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
What the fuck?
Dude,
yeah, it's the same. It's the same gauge.
Like I said, well, I never did any like Luthering or guitar work.
Well, okay. Little asterisk. It's the same most of the time unless you get somebody with wackadoodle.
Yeah.
Or you get a different pack of strings, which I'm going to have to replace those, I think, finally. But yeah, that string and the low on the guitar is the same as the high on the bass. So you can't get any higher. So you get lower, you get thicker strings when you get more strings on a bass. Fun fact for you. But they do make 7 and 8 string guitars, which will have lower strings, which are not the same as what's on the bass, I think. I don't know. I haven't really looked into those because I was like, I have too many guitars the way it is. I don't need more.
You only got 2 hands. You can't. You have sitting out that I can see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's 2 in cases.
6, 7, 8.
Oh yeah, there's also an acoustic underneath.
And then I just bought that 5 string. So I have 9. I have 9.
You only have 2 hands. You can't. You can only play one at one time.
Yeah, but I can play both. You don't have to be at the same time. Although you could get a double neck guitar and play.
I've seen those.
But I don't want to deal with that either. That sounds like a bad time.
The guitarist for Nitro, I think his name is Michael Angelo, because why not? Yeah, he's famous for playing a double necked guitar, and it's just absolutely insane.
I can't. I wouldn't be able to do it. No way. But the problem with 7 and 8 string guitars is you gotta get your hands all the way up there. If you have big man hands,
well, you have long fingers.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do have long fingers, which I have to loop my thumb over the neck sometimes to get stuff, which is fine. You can do that. That's allowed. But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with all these. That one of those doesn't play very well anymore because it's super duper old. Probably that one. I don't know what's in what case anymore. Yeah, you like my grape Hello Kitty that I've had on there for ages because my guitar's purple. And that's the one that was that was going in there originally. And so I grape Hello Kitty for grape guitar. But now I have 2 purple guitars in here. One is a Jackson, and I bought that one.
What the hell is that brand?
I've never seen that brand ever again before. I don't know what it is.
J. Tanner?
Your guess is as good as mine, my dude. I have no idea.
It's not an Epiphone or a Gibson, so I have no idea.
You only know Epiphone and Gibson, not Fender and
No.
Squire? One of those is a Squire, I think.
Yeah.
Which is the sub-brand of Fender, I think.
No, Squire's a model.
No, you're thinking of a Stratocaster.
No. Like a Fender Strat is a thing, but Fender Squire is also a thing.
That's the sub-brand now.
Telecaster is the one
Yeah,
that I'm
I don't
thinking
know,
of.
like...
Yeah.
That's what I was like, maybe there
I
used
fucking hate.
maybe there used to be, but no.
So, I absolutely hate Telecasters because I think they look like stupid and they're only played by pretentious douchebags. So, my brother, Zipper Tidy, the one who's musically inclined, he specifically went out and bought a Fender Telecaster because I hated him. Like,
Love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, no, well, that's Zipper Tidy though. That's all of his stories start and end like that.
Yeah, I don't really like the Stratocaster body that much, but
it's ubiquitous. It's everything. Yeah,
almost 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. I hate it so much, but I have them. I have them everywhere.
And the thing is, I can just make like a custom guitar body, but then like you're never gonna find a pick guard for it.
Oh, I could cut one.
I can modify the pick guard too.
I could just cut one out of acrylic with my Cricut.
Yeah,
I can do whatever the fuck I want.
I have free will. Wait,
I was kind of thinking about selling that thing. Maybe.
The one that you made.
But I don't know if I'd get my money back.
I kind of like that one. I even like that one, like even just as an art piece.
I also, it's fucking chipped already. I don't know what I hit it against.
How dare you?
Oopsie daisies.
Wait, was it you that sent me a message like, I forgot that I had free will and did something? Is that you earlier this week?
Oh.
God.
We sent too much stuff. I don't know what we talk about half the time.
What the hell?
It only the conversations can only have so much space in my brain before they go away.
You gotta make room for other things.
Yep. That's all we get.
I wonder if I could. I probably can't. No.
That's okay.
Oh yeah, the frogs hitting the.
Yeah, I had seen that before somewhere.
Like, I'm so glad people were weird before the internet.
People were always weird. We just like to pretend like it's a new thing for some reason all the time.
Yeah.
People are always freaky.
Well, and I think that's also one of those things that it's the ideas, thoughts, and writings of everyone are a lot more available now. It's like, think 200 years ago.
No, they were still available then. People wrote fucking letters and shit to each other about it.
Not a lot of people knew how to write though. Like less people do. Like your dad doesn't know how to write.
Yeah, he does. It's not very well, but he knows how to write. He knows how to read. Not very well, but he knows how to read. No, I think people still had all of the shit that we have now. It's just, it's more everywhere now. Instead, things are more public, and I think that's what you're getting at.
Yes.
But people would carve shit on public rocks. Stuff like, so there were still forum boards everywhere, all over the fucking place. They were just carved into rock. And the reason that they didn't last, because we destroyed everything.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's more. Like,
ooh, maybe we should put this into the history subcategory. But one of my favorite things, and it's along these lines, is all the street riding of Pompeii.
Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff.
Good.
The oldest clay tablet that we have that's kind of intact is a complaint about copper quality.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we're the same fucking people we've always been.
We're just bitching about things. Like,
it's always been this way. This is just how humans have been. It's not different. There's just different ways to do it, I guess. Different ways to bitch or be weird. It's not really any different. It's just different forms of the same shit.
Well, and there's also been like trolls throughout history, which is also hilarious. Like, was it Diogenes that like Aristotle, of course, on his bullshit, is like a man being with skin and 2 legs, and brings in a chicken with that he pulled the feathers out. And he goes, "Behold a man." Okay, so we need more rules.
Well, there's like a newspaper articles from like women back in the day being like, I'm just gonna have cats and live by myself. So it's like,
fast forward till now.
Yeah, we're the same. It's all the same. Human beings, they don't get their experiences don't get any different. We all do the same shit as we've always done.
We're all shitheads. Every single one of us. Even if you think that you're pure of heart, you're probably still dumb of ass.
Yeah. It's like all the people that are like, I'm rich and snooty now. It's like, yes, those have existed from the beginning of time as well. It's called the royal courts people doing dumb, weird shit thinking they're better than everybody else. It's always happened. Always. And it will continue to happen until none of us are here anymore.
Until the sun swallows us all.
Whee! All right. I suppose we better get into it because it's going to be long.
We have reached the middle. Which this last few times has actually been the first quarter. But it's because we're kind of going deep into these things. But before that, we have some housekeeping things to do. First, buy our shit.
Like, how you had to back away for that.
I don't want to blow everyone's ear out. We have t-shirts, we have pins, we have stickers, and you can find them all on Patreon. Well,
no.
To talk to us.
I mean, you can just talk to us about it.
Yeah. We are actually going to be getting into running more of our social medias, and we'll be a little more active there, so you can talk to us and get involved.
You can find us on the Instagrams, the Poker Faces, the internets. Most importantly, you should most definitely subscribe to our Patreon account. It's patreon.com/randomroulette. So you can get free stuff and suggest show topics, because we just went through our whole list of stuff. So if you want anything added, now would be the time.
So let's go. Subscribe
to that. Make me a little less sad on the inside when I open to look at it.
Do it for spooky.
Do it for the spooks.
In our adventures today, I also got us some kombucha.
Yes.
You're drinking a blueberry, lavender, guava, pineapple, mango, ginger.
I don't know if I taste all of this.
What?
That's a lot.
What's
That's
weird
a lot
is,
of stuff.
there was a sticker that was covering all like the extra flavors. I took it off and moved it. I was like, why are you covering that up? But these are by Kismet. You can find them at Hy-Vee.
Where are they from, does it say?
I don't know.
Swirl gently before enjoying.
Mine is a peach vanilla, apricot, marigold vanilla.
Grimes, Iowa.
Oh, shit. So nearby. Yeah. Swirl gently. Okay, yeah, you already said that.
Yeah.
They're actually pretty good. I mean, if you like kombucha, like to some people it can be like kind of bitter and like very intense, but give it a shot. It's good.
Pretty dope.
And because I know this one's going to go long and I'm probably going to cry, I also did get a Turbo Farmer by Glacial Till. It's a brown sugar cinnamon cider.
Why are you going to cry?
Dude, we'll get there. But like it was one of those things where like I just like after finishing this series, I just laid there and just couldn't like handle the entire world. Like,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Anyway, pretend like it's the first time.
Yeah. There were a couple things that I did make, or that I wanted to.
Don't you dare! Shut the fuck up.
No, of like the previous episodes.
Oh, okay.
So Vi and Powder's mother's name is Felicia.
Oh, where the fuck did you find that? Did you look it up?
Yeah.
Oh.
And Isha's song. That. Oh man, I had that. Where did it go? There it is. Isha's song. It's in Chinese.
Okay.
And the lyrics are actually even more heartbreaking.
Oh God!
Like now that you know what it is.
Are you trying to look it up?
Yes.
Again.
So the main chorus is, "Don't wander in troubles anymore. Don't forget. If the tears flow, keep running forward. Run till the end. Time cannot be found. Be carefree, flying bird. Push aside the mountains. Let her see me. Tell those stars to shine on me. Blow away the dark clouds with that blue in my heart." So it's and it's all done like the whole it's not childlike, but it's still like small.
Crayons.
It's like, oh God, no. And we're gonna get more of that because there's other songs that are in different languages in these 3 episodes, and translating the lyrics makes the scenes even more insane, and we'll get there.
All right. So did you notice that the disc was different? At the start of this episode.
No.
Oh,
see, I
wondered if you were going to miss it.
Well, because I mean that's usually the part where you start is like a skip intro, like.
Oh, no, I never skipped it.
Yeah, well,
I don't
because
skip
it actually means a lot.
Yeah, so on the disc, instead of Vi and Jinx, it was
Was it adult powder?
Echo and Powder.
Oh,
I can't believe you missed that. All right.
God.
Well, we opened to Echo just getting into the other timeline.
Yeah.
And we find out very quickly that Jinx is not Jinx, in fact,
Mm-hmm.
in this timeline.
Oh yeah, as it opened, I was like, "Wait, Echo is a Pilty?" Because I was like, "What?" Because he's dressed very nice.
Yeah, but it's not. It's just they've gotten their shit together in this timeline. So he's like still glitching out a bit, and he's still kind of in a daze, taking in his surroundings, and looking around at people that were dead in his timeline, but are not dead in this timeline.
As the song "Open Your Eyes" by Alex Seaver plays, and that's. Well, it works for like the thing because it's all very kind of like it's slow and melodic, and he's just like he's trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah, because he just glitched into this one, and we also get to see the other kids, these Powder and Vi's siblings that were killed in the first.
Oh, their names always.
Yeah, but they're alive.
Shrunk.
They're alive in this one and doing shit.
Yeah.
And Powder is like just as much as an inventor as Jinx is from.
Yeah, like that's something that doesn't ever leave her.
Yeah. And then we get Heimerdinger coming in and being like, "Yeah, I've been around for a hot minute, just waiting for you."
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
So as I was just taking in this episode, like as it's playing on, like, and I'm taking notes, I'm like, oh, so this is what Zahn would have been. And even at that point, I'm like, well, where's Vi?
Yeah, and she said she's a dead in this timeline.
Yep.
Because in the job where shit starts, like, the whole thing that sets all of this in motion, instead of all of the crazy stuff happening after this, it's just Vi dies, and that's it.
So there is an underlying thing. So there's no hex tech at all. So the idea is...
No, there still was. Because he pulled pieces of it out of the wall. It just... Well, yeah. After that, it was cut.
It wasn't developed into what it was later, where they had like the gates and everything.
Yeah, I think Jace of that timeline probably gave up after it caused an explosion and somebody to die.
The fan theory is that explosion also killed Jace because it happened in the other part of the apartment. It didn't go out the window, it went into the hallway.
And we didn't see Jace at all in that timeline, so that could be. It could be. I like that fan theory. And Heimerdinger has a banjo for some reason.
Yeah, no, it has a whole like musical number, and it's great, and it's all about the Wheel of Time.
Yeah. And I really like how Powder is still set up in the same... Yeah,
the exact same like workshop area.
But it's less run down and crazy.
And there's lights on.
And like it's more of a like a science experiment place rather than like craziness.
It's equal parts like art studio and workshop.
Yeah.
Like, which I find awesome because that's really what Jinx is.
Yeah.
Well, Vi Powder or Jinx Powder.
So also during this time we get flashes over to where
Jace where he ended up,
which is in nearly the complete opposite of where Echo and Heimerdinger are, and this place is like completely ruined. Everything's decrepit, and we come across what looks like it used to be a person.
Yeah,
just kind of
shelled out.
Yeah,
like almost mechanical.
Which is weird because when they showed it, like looking from the back, you could like see its jawbone still, and I was like, "That's weird, but awesome."
Yeah.
So yeah, Vi isn't in this timeline, but Zahn and Piltover are in a much better place.
Yeah, like there's
together.
They show like people walking across the bridge.
Yeah, and we see in the background some of the characters that had died in the first season.
Yeah.
So like there was an enforcer, a couple other just like background people that you could be like, oh shit, look, they're not dead because none of that shit happened.
Yeah, and of course, Vander, Silco, Benzo.
Yeah, like they're all still alive.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And they're like, every once in a while you'll see like another background person that was like,
It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. And we also get this really cool parallel between where Jace is in Piltover and where Echo is while they're going about their business. So they go past the same things.
Yeah.
Just like one is like everything's in good shape, everything's fine. And for Jace, it's like everything's bad, everything's falling apart. I don't know. So I thought that was really cool when they were like showing the characters walking around.
Yeah. Well, and this show is very, very good at that.
Yeah.
Like, drawing parallels without being too, well, not necessarily too in your face, but like it shows that these are important things.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, Echo goes into the apartment and digs pieces of hex tech out of the walls.
Yeah.
Which is where pretty much everything started. It was that apartment thing where Jace was.
Like so I actually went back and watched the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that is the one thing that started everything.
Yeah,
and
like that was it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about all of that, that butterfly effect from that, and seeing how that didn't happen in this other timeline. But yeah, Jace gets spooked by some humanoid-looking things. And I also like, so after he gets scared by them and tumbles down into what I've called the pit of despair.
Yeah, breaks his leg.
There's some really cool, like, spoopy piano
music
in there. And I was like, this is neat. I like this. So I thought I'd just point that out. So as Chase is down there, his hammer is just like melting away into everything, which I thought was neat.
Yeah. Like, well, as he falls in, like he breaks it.
Yeah, he breaks the hammer and he breaks his leg.
Yeah.
Which, he makes a leg brace out of the hammer parts.
The handle, yeah.
Which we see in the opening of season 1.
Ooh.
I thought you would catch that one too. It's only because I went to YouTube and watched them the opening side by side. And
Like,
I was like,
the theme song, like the Imagine Dragons, like that.
Yeah, yeah. So in that, it shows the exact leg brace that he makes coming off.
Dude.
Which I thought I
know that there was something in there because I watched it and I was like, wait, they planned this thing out all the way through.
Oh yeah,
like,
there was a bunch of like giveaways in the opening.
Like it wasn't ever supposed to end with just Jinx's attack on the council.
Yeah.
Like no. That was a midpoint of the story.
But I always assumed it was going to be Victor because he was always walking around with Arcane, and then he suddenly did. But no, it was Jace's leg brace in the opening of the first season, which I thought that was a neat tie-in there. I'm sure there's more that I don't know about.
Yeah.
But so where Echo is at, so he's finally kind of got his bearings under him now. So he paints this lovely portrait of Vi from his timeline for Powder. It's like, okay, this is Powder. This isn't Jinx. Maybe we should work together, kind of dealio. Which I thought was cool. So then they do end up working together with Heimerdinger as their supervisor, of course.
Yes.
And they kind of make a bit of a time loop machine.
Yeah. Like it took me a minute to figure out like what was actually going on. Like I thought that like my stream was just fucking up, and I was
I did too. I was like, I was like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here.
And I also like how, because like Powder was involved with the building of it, like it has the monkeys in that stereogram thing.
Yeah.
It's like I love it how she puts, or you know, the way that her character is developed, that she puts her spin on everything.
Yeah.
Like no matter what it is, like, no, yeah, this thing, it didn't need to have this, but it does.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I think people would assume that a lot of that stuff comes from Jinx being the way she is, but that's part of just her personality overall. And then they go to the party and have a nice time.
Okay, so there's that DJ that plays.
Yeah.
And the song that plays is all in French.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, how would you describe that song?
I don't know.
You don't
it's
know.
fine. I don't know if I would dance to it like they did, but
yeah. But I mean, it's kind of like it's kind of upbeat. Like there's, you know, it's slightly intense.
Why are the lyrics really depressed fest?
So it's all in French. It's Mama Ye and Me, and the chorus is, or the opening is Je t'aime je hais, which is I love you, I hate you, and it, you know, it repeats that way. The chorus. You know what they say, be near your dearest friends, but also even closer to your opponents. But my best enemy is you. Run from me. The worst is you and me.
Okay. All right.
And like the my meilleur ennemi is my best enemy.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, oh yeah, it's, you know, they're getting together. It's like, that's not what the song's about.
Yeah, and that's what I have next is like Echo's kind of in like fantasy land this entire time, really.
Yeah.
Of almost like what could have been.
Yeah.
But he's also is like, I know this isn't my timeline. I know this isn't where I'm supposed to be or where I'm needed.
But if this was Japanese, he would have stayed. When you get isekai'd, you stay isekai'd.
I also noticed that Powder has a piece of Vi's hair in her hair all the time.
I thought it was just like a ribbon.
No, it's a piece of Vi's hair. But yeah, she also the entire time she still has like the same personality as Jinx, but without the crazy, which I think the crazy comes from the shimmer, anyways.
There's one thing that doesn't quite make a lot of sense is, well, I guess there would be other ways she would get it. But at Vi's memorial, you know, where she lights the incense all the time, she has Vi's bunny.
Yeah.
And that was, you know, when Powder had like the bad day, and it's like, hey, look at all this cool stuff we've done, but that, I never was able to get that back. And that's the one thing that like ties Jinx to Vi.
Yeah.
Jinx and Vi would have never had that conversation because she would have been dead then. But in other ways,
yeah,
like to remember her, she probably would have went and got it. But it's like, yeah, that's a pretty small nit to pick.
Yeah. All right, so Jace climbs out of his little pit of despair, and all the way to the top of the big old tower, which is where the council, the tower where the council sits, and sees the stone person with the hammer, and he's like, "Oh, I did this."
Yeah.
Oh. And this entire time that he's out and about, there's a hooded figure.
Yeah, chasing him the entire time.
Kind of leading him places and chasing him around. And we see that they have a conversation. And he's like, just send me back, I'll fix it, basically. And he gets the hammer from the stone person because he used his hammer for his leg brace. Yeah. So that thing is gone.
There is kind of a cool thing, just visually, like where that hammer strike is, like that's where all of like the Hextech corruption like comes, like you can draw a straight line everywhere from that. So it's like this is ground zero.
Yep. So Powder is coming back into the lab where Heimerdinger and Echo are basically trying to get back to their timeline.
They're putting the thing into overdrive.
Heimerdinger disappears.
Oh, well, yeah, before that, when they're testing, like, how far the thing can go back.
Yeah.
Like, when he finds out that, it can only go back 4 seconds. Like, how do you know? It's like, because I saw your head fucking explode.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, oh, crap, I can't remember what a species is called. But what Heimerdinger is he's basically like a fey creature.
Yeah.
Like, he's a creature of magic. So, like, when magic is going to overdrive, it affects him a lot more. Like, when they went into the hex core anomaly, that's why he was, like, the first one to, like, wig out.
Yeah.
Because he's intrinsically tied to it. And that's why the time machine affects him, because he's a magic creature.
Gotcha. But he just disappears. I don't really know what happened. I don't know if he's considered dead now.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with... I don't know. We'll get to that at the start of the next episode.
Yeah.
But he just disappears. And so Powder gets her version of Echo back.
Yeah.
And then Echo turns back into the right timeline, the correct timeline.
But he's able to take the portable time machine thing with him.
Yeah. But Powder also has... We see her put into a drawer a necklace. And she has a bag of, like, the glowing blue stones.
Yeah.
So that makes me wonder...
Like, in this timeline,
if we're going to have more action from that timeline ever.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to that when we get to the end of all the stuff we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
What's next for all of this. Yeah, so that's that episode.
Do you remember what that episode's called?
Yeah, it's pretend like it's the first time. Or are you talking about the next one?
Did I fuck that up?
What do you have? What do you have?
I have it as The Boy's Savior, because I thought the last 3 episodes had the same name
No.
across both seasons. Did I not? Yeah, because I have this as The Boy's Savior. The next one is Oil and Water.
No, the next one is Killing is a Cycle. Oh,
Well, okay, that does change things. So I thought I was doing something clever. It's like, no, you're just a fucking idiot.
Whoopsie daisies.
Yeah, which actually makes sense, because the last 3 episodes are The Boy's Savior, and that's the one about Echo, and this is the one about Echo. Episode 8 in season 1 is Oil and Water, and that's that's how Vi described her and Caitlin.
Yeah.
And there's, like, that relationship is what this next episode's about. And then the last one is The Monster You Created.
I mean, I like it. It would make sense, but that's not the case.
That's not what.
So this next one is Killing is a Cycle, and we get back to our normal Vi and...
Oh, okay. Well, I guess...
You fuck it up.
No. Because, well, here. I didn't... Yeah, I know it's not what you're... Yeah.
What the fuck? They fucked it up on there,
Probably,
for sure.
yeah. All the other ones are correct.
And we also get back to Mel, finally, in this one.
Oh, yeah.
At the start of this one.
So she goes Super Saiyan.
Yeah. She's got her power awakening, and another thing I thought was fun is... So Mel is usually wearing white, but in her Super Edition... all of her clothes are black now.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a neat touch.
Well, and it's a tie to, because she also is a, like, half magic creature.
Yeah.
And the one that is her sister is, like, she's a shadow that has, like, gold accents.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like a callback to her,
Yeah.
whatever she is. There's a name for those, something with it.
And, the sister is like, Ambassa is the beginning of the end, and she needs to be stopped and whatnot. I also noticed, so in this season's opening, Ambassa is holding a rose.
Yeah.
And when, Mel's mysterious sister is like, she always kept you close because she wanted to keep her greatest weapon closest.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if the opening is a call to that specific line, because Ambassa is holding the rose. And when we get to Mel's part in the opening, she is reaching for the rose as she's, like, signifying her just getting her powers to her. I thought maybe that was a parallel there. I don't know. Something I thought about. And then we get to the lovely aftermath of the big fight.
Yeah. Singe is working on Warwick and trying to figure out what to do with Victor.
Yeah, and they are burying their dead, including the goon.
Yep.
The goon is definitely dead now.
But Mbessa takes his runes off his staff.
Yes, and
which is
now has them. We hear nothing about Isha ever again.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure that she became atomized.
Yeah, but how many people have just disappeared to somewhere the fuck else because of Hex Tech?
Also true.
So she could be somewhere else.
Isekai.
Who knows?
Let's just do that because, no, because her death is actually kind of the catalyst for everything that happens to Jinx.
I think it's one of the things. I don't think it's the only thing, but yeah, one of the things. Yeah, so Victor is teaming up with Mbasa and Mr. Doctor Guy for some reason. That one kind of didn't make sense to me. Why would he team up with them?
Well, because they would have resources.
I mean, I couldn't figure out the reason why Mbasa was going after Piltover in the first place. Like, that should never make
Well, I mean,
sense
that's
to me.
just...
might have just been
it's just conquest. Yeah. Piltover, I mean, well, especially they're the ones that have like the hex tech technology. They're the ones that hex gates. So that's what like made Piltover. Let's put them on the map.
Yeah, but she was already like
conquering everything
in there. She was already in there. Like, I don't understand why she would suddenly go.
Well, because now there's people fighting back.
Like, I don't know. Didn't make sense to me. But anyway.
Okay.
Vi wakes up with Loris.
Yeah, who she mistakes for Vander.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they do have kind of the same shape.
They do.
Yeah, so she's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, she's pretty hurt. It's not good. Yeah. Then she is, of course, wakes up full of just fire, as usual. Mm-hmm. And storms out to Caitlyn and is like, why did you arrest Jinx? Like, she's different now. She's fighting on our side, blah, blah. Yeah. And they have a good old fight about it.
But in this fight, I think, I mean, Vi, yeah, she might be lying to herself a little bit that, like, oh no, Jinx has changed. I was like, well, in the circumstances, Jinx was being different because she had different things to go for.
I think that's fair. Yeah,
she had fair. Isha, and she had her sister back. But Vi also calls out Caitlyn on, it's like, yeah, well, you sided with a warlord, and you're a fucking idiot for doing that. Yeah. And actually, it's Caitlyn like, admits to it. It's like, yeah.
And then Caitlyn decides to visit Jinx, who is just full in depression and hair everywhere.
That, like, there's something very, very just tragically sad about Jinx's braids being undone.
Yeah.
Because as long as we've known Powder as Jinx, she's always had these kick-ass braids, and they whip around.
Long braids.
And, you know, they kind of add to, like, just, like, the whole, like, insanity of her silhouette. Like, they exaggerate all of her movements.
Yeah.
And in this way, they also exaggerate all of her movements and how it's down.
Yeah.
And it's just covering the floor.
Barely moving, huddled up in the corner.
But, I mean, she's also, like, not eating, but Caitlyn is still providing her food every day. Yeah. So it's not like she's not taking care of her.
Yeah. Like, Caitlyn's trying, but there's a lot that happened to Jinx, and she's just kind of processing it right now, I think. Just the whole weight of everything.
And so Jinx's sociopathy is really kind of put a fine point on it in that scene where she says, I didn't mean to kill your mom.
Yeah.
I meant to kill everyone in the building. Yeah. I didn't mean to kill your mom. Like,
she was like, I didn't know your mom was in there. Not that it would have made much of a difference, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, she wasn't targeting her mom by any means when she was doing that. She just wanted to do something.
Well, I mean, she needed to...
And that comes with what I was saying, where, like, Jinx isn't deliberately vicious and violent, but she wants to do something about stuff. But she's not, like, technically going after people to harm them, I guess. Her actions are more trying to change things rather than for violence like Ambassa's. Mm-hmm. Ambassa is definitely more like violence.
Yeah.
I just want violence. I don't care how we have to get there. Where Jinx, I think, is like the flip side of that coin, where she doesn't really necessarily want the violence, but she'll
It's a
do
byproduct.
it. Yeah, she'll do it because she wants shit to change.
Also, especially after watching the first 3 episodes, the parallels between Jinx and Silco, and then Vi and Vander.
Yeah.
Like one of the actual culminating event in the first 3 episodes happens just after the opening, is the Vander and Silco fight.
Yeah.
Where he's drowning Silco.
Yeah.
And that was like that's the one thing that split everything. That was the actual event that started a lot of things. And that's why in the previous episodes where Jinx goes and finds Vi in the fighting pits, and Vi's choking her.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's Vander and Silco fighting right there.
Just again.
Yeah. And yeah, so that's where the next part comes in.
Yep. So yeah, let's do that part and move that one down. Let's move the council room down and do the. So Jinx is talking sees Silco and is talking to Silco, and
which is weird because earlier we thought that Jinx had finally just kind of given up on Silco, and that's why she kind of went all in with Isha. It's like, well, that part of my life is closed. But for the first time since his death, Silco's actually talking to her.
Yeah, and his eye is blue instead of red.
Blue instead of So it's not. It's Hex. It's not. What's the drug called?
Shimmer. Yeah, and he is basically saying, killing is a cycle, which is the name of the episode. Yeah. Killing is a cycle. It'll never stop. And unless you put a stop to it, which I think is kind of what you were talking about, where it's like it started with Silco and Vander, and then it went to them, and now it'll keep going down the line, basically. But Vi gets there to break her out, and
there's a whole thing while Jinx is talking to Silco where she has like the hex core, but it's like she doesn't actually have it. It's like the activation energy of what she's doing, because like one of the last scenes is she spits it out into her hand, but it never reaches her hand. But her hand moves like it does catch something.
Makes you wonder if maybe she did like eat one.
I mean, it wouldn't put it past her. But I think one of the reasons why you don't see it hit her hand is because as it's showing that's when Vi comes in.
Yeah.
And starts talking to her.
Yeah. So that Vi's there to break her out, but things don't go as planned.
Yeah.
Of course. And Jinx turns around and locks Vi in the cell instead. And is like, well, it was nice knowing you.
Well, before that, she actually goes to Jinx, and Jinx has the realization, you're never going to give up on me, are you?
Yeah.
And, of course, Vi, no, of course not.
Yeah.
Why would I? And then
she's like,
bait and switch. But, I mean, again, like, it wasn't a thing done out of maliciousness. It's the manifestation of this conversation with Silco. It's like, well, we got to put things to an end. Well, one way or another, we got to put things to an end.
And where she goes after that, she doesn't want Vi to follow her through that. So she locks her in there. But
as Jinx is leaving, Jinx comes to the conclusions, like, there is no good part of me. It's like, no, Vi, as much as you want me to be better and to be good, because the reason why why Vi came to save her was, we need your creativity. We need, your just literal explosive raw power to help us win this fight. And she goes, that I can't. I don't want to anymore.
Yeah, she's just tired
of
fighting.
There's a few things missing from Jinx, and it's not just her hair. She doesn't have any of her belts.
Yeah, her boots are gone.
And she doesn't have the X strap on her shirt. So it's like suicide watch. So, it's a very, imprisoned thing.
Yeah. We also get the council room.
Yes.
That has been put back together. Kintsugi style.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, it was all.
I thought that was pretty fun.
Yeah. Which, if those of you who don't know, it's repairing things with gold.
Yep. And we get the first Jason and Mel meeting in quite some time.
Yeah, which this single fight, it's like, guys, shut that. This is not an important fight. I was like, you were mean to me once. It's like, there is a war coming.
Well,
the end of the world is on its way.
It's like, it's not even like her fault, because he was like, why did you just protect us? And she was like,
I didn't even know I could do that.
I don't know. With her newly, she could have just been like, hey, I just found out about this too, shithead.
Yeah.
But no, of course not. Gotta have the drama.
Well, again, and Jace as a character is very like hard-headed.
Yeah.
Like he kind of like, he's smart enough to like figure out hex tech, but he like even in the development of it, he kind of brute forced his way through.
Yeah. And then we get a Victorbot.
Yeah.
I don't know what those are supposed to be, really. I know they're people at one time, but they're not anymore.
It's a artifact creature.
Yeah, we'll get to
Tap
that.
for 5 mana.
And working together, they murder the Victorbot.
Yeah, well, even like this aspect of Victor is shown to be just absolutely insanely strong and absolutely resilient to a lot of things, and it's fast, and it's like, how do we fight this thing? But with our powers combined, Mel and Jace are able to defeat it.
Which he then holds a meeting with the destroyed Victorbot.
Yep.
We're just going to call him Victorbot because I don't care anymore. And it's like, hey, listen, I don't give a shit about Piltover and Zonfight right now. I don't give a single damn. What we need to worry about is Ambassa and Victor and the Victorbots.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, you see people walk away because they're like, meh, whatever, dude. We don't give a shit. You get a lot of that. But then you also get where he kind of like followed through with his word, because he was like, we need to unify to fight against this. So if we could get everybody into Piltover so we can, do this. And like they do let people in. Yeah. Which is really cool.
Like they're moving people, and it was the DJ from the previous episode, but like in this universe, like if like instead of like leaving, then joins up with the enforcers.
Yep. So now we have a mixed group of enforcers of Piltover people and Zon people, which is cool. And yeah, you have husbands sending their wife and kids up to Piltover while they stay in Zon and whatnot. And yeah, they're just letting people in. They're like, it doesn't matter anymore. This fight between us was stupid. Yeah, we gotta figure this shit out. Otherwise,
this is what finally unified.
Yeah. And of course, Mel goes to Ambassa and
tries to sue for peace. It's like,
yeah, but did you notice how surprised Ambassa was that Mel returned? When she came back, she was like, "You're alive?" Like she was so surprised that she was alive. Like she dead ass expected her to be dead.
Well, at that point, I don't think that she knows who. Well, maybe she would. Like knows like who and what Mel. Well, no, she does, because Mel was always going to be her greatest weapon.
Yeah, so she's gonna have a little inkling about it.
But with her gone, I'm sure she just assumed she was dead.
Yeah. So she's like, "Hey, we can just pack our shit up and leave. Like this doesn't really matter to us. We could go. This isn't anything for like. This has nothing to do with your feud with the Micros person." And she's like, "Nah, gotta fuck him up." It's like, God damn it. And Ambassa just straight up made fun of like Mel's new powers just right the fuck in front of her. And I was like, how stupid you gotta be. But that does make me wonder if she knew or not.
Well,
maybe she didn't know that she had them yet, I guess. Had her powers yet.
Well, no, because she has all of her gold tattoos and stuff like that. I think she makes a comment about that.
Well, she was wearing like a robe thing. So she wouldn't have saw them anyways. But yeah, I was kind of weird too. I was like, what a move. And then Mr. Dr. Guy starts working on Victor, basically, which causes him to lose contact with Sky, which I thought was interesting. And I didn't know if, like, that was...
She was kind of like the one good thing, like,
yeah,
holding
I was
him
going to
there.
say, was that, like... Is that a play for, like, the last of his humanity,
Yeah.
and giving a shit about people is now gone?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know if that... Like, I don't know why that had to happen anyways.
Well, I think it's definitely, well, because
More of a
so much of it...
symbolic thing.
Yeah, so much of it is, like, metaphorical. I think you're right, where it's the last of his humanity. It's the last of the good.
Yeah.
Like, nothing good can come in this now. And then, do we go right into...
Oh, I got one more.
Oh.
The last bit of
Xander
is now
Singed working on Vander.
Yeah, melted away.
And yeah, like all of it goes back to those just amazing watercolor paintings of his past. And the last one to go is Silco.
Yeah.
It's like,
and then Victor turns a bunch of his followers into the bots.
yeah, I was like, so they're puppets or angels or
I don't fucking know.
something like
There's
that.
something.
Yeah.
They're not good.
And that kind of sets us up for...
Yep, the big old, the dirt under your nails.
Or the monster you created, as I have written down.
Way to go.
Jinx's hair.
She lops all of her hair off.
Yeah.
Burns literally everything ever from her past. So, like, Silco's chair, the arcade, the bar, just all kinds of stuff. Just burns it all up.
Of course, we have intro songs. This one is The Wasteland by Royal and Serpent, which does come back later.
And then what I thought would happen is happening. She is trying to blow herself up.
Yeah, she's going to commit suicide with a grenade.
Yep. But then Echo stops her. And then...
Well, no, Echo just busts in.
Yeah, and she's like, whoa!
And pulls the cord on his time
Wait
machine.
a minute. And then I think it's fun how when he's like, you're not going to, like, blow your best friend up with the Arya? And then she jumps off.
Yeah, well...
Instead.
This back and forth of, like... Of Jinx wanting to kill herself. Like, this whole scene is kind of played from, well, as we see it, but as Echo's experiencing it.
Yeah.
Like, for Jinx, it's the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
She sees friend, I don't care, die.
Yeah.
See friend, I don't care, die. And there's some of those where she just straight up just stares him down without looking back at her grenade, pulls the pin. Like, it's like, no, I want to
die.
It's the muffin from the internet. I want to die. Like, muffin time. But like, just the brutality of that. Like, there's one like where he kind of like misses the ripcord, and like a part of like bloody shrapnel comes at him.
Yeah.
It's like, oh god.
And then he's like, you're not gonna blow us up together, are you? And then she
just jumps off.
He's like, no. So then he finally convinces her, maybe not do that. Let's do something about this, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Together, we can work this out. Yeah, and then they have their lovely little underground meeting with Vi and Caitlin and some others.
Mm-hmm. About the Noxian attack.
Yeah, and this entire time you're having little cut-ins of Vi carrying someone through a bunch of shit going on in the background. And when that, when the meeting kind of like ends, then we get to like the continuation of those little blips in it. And she's carrying someone who, unfortunately passes away, and she has blue hair. So Vi's like, oh shit.
It was it's the DJ from the previous episode.
Yep.
So that whole scene reminds me a lot. Oh no, that's actually coming up. Yeah. Because I like how they don't like kind of like fuck around with like, oh no, it's 3 weeks until they actually come and all this. No, it just goes right into the fucking war. Like
directly into it.
It's like we've seen that enough. No, this whole show has been visceral the entire time.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And Avasa is just fucking demolishing people with her little weird knife knuckle things.
Yeah. It's like a boxing glove, but what if it was sharp? Like,
Yeah. It was almost like brass knuckles, but with knife.
But it's a blade.
And then with a chain attached to both of them, too, so you could swing. It was nuts.
Yeah.
And, of course, her armband of the goons stuff that was on his staff. And then we see Caitlyn taking a shot at her with what looks like a new Hex Tech weapon. So they made more Hex Tech
her new
stuff.
kick-ass rifle.
So I think it was fun.
Well, also, I like how they have basically like the Hex Tech trebuchets where they just launch like bricks. It's like, well, this is rad.
And then we have Victor's cocoon arrives on scene with a big old person.
Yeah, I for my notes for that, they have a cave troll.
Cave troll.
Which that's from Lord of the Rings. So when they're in Moria, it's like they're breaking down the door. Anyway, yes.
While this is happening, of course, Jace is in the bottom of everything, trying to dismantle the real Hex Gate.
Yeah, like he's like taking it apart.
Yeah. So Vi's team gets kind of demolished.
Yeah, they're starting to get overrun.
Yeah, and this is where we see the first kind of character death, where Loris dies on the
catapult.
On the catapult. Caitlyn's team down on the ground is whooping ass.
Yeah,
and taking names.
So this scene reminds me a lot of there's a what is that campaign called? Oh, I think it's just called Remember Reach. For Halo Reach, it's they're trying to get a nuke.
Yeah, they're trying to get a bomb.
Like to the cave troll, and that's for me like the Halo Reach is one of my favorite games of all time. And there's a beautiful campaign, like advertising campaign for it, where the main character, the main character of Halo is trying to like get this nuke to this place, and it's like it's the same thing.
Yeah, and they're successful on that. They attach the bomb to Victor's cocoon, but somebody put a nail in it.
Yeah,
bastards.
And the gears wouldn't turn. The whole clockwork bomb didn't work.
Someone betrays her. Yeah. And it's the redhead that she was sleeping with before. So she's captured by Ambassa and gets absolutely shanked.
Yeah.
In the tummy. And she's about to get
just publicly executed.
Yeah.
By her own rifle.
But Mel saves the day by putting a barrier around the redhead, shooting her, and just she gets the redhead shoots herself basically.
Okay, so earlier in last week's episode, we talked about how there's a lot of like one scene glitches. There is one in that scene. Do you know what it is?
Oh, no.
So, and they're always like something subtle, and it always tells just like a little bit more about what's actually going on. It's God, I can't remember her name. It's the redhead.
Yeah. Right
before she pulls the trigger, it's an evil smiley face flashes over her, like a Jinx written smiley face flashes codes. So like there was like,
no, I miss it.
Yeah, so it's like, no, she wanted Caitlyn to die.
Yeah, she
like
wanted her to die. Jeez.
And like just how quickly it's like went from like okay to holy shit.
Yeah.
And like, which is what's really great about like this whole sequence is how like fast everything's moving.
Yeah.
Like, cause no, you don't get time to catch your breath and feel emotions. Like, no.
Yeah,
like
shit's gotta go on. So Mel finally like kind of like takes her stand against Ambassa.
Yeah.
Finally. Because this whole time through the series, she's just kind of like ducked her head down around Ambassa. Now she's taking her stand, which kudos to her. And Jinx arrives in a very Jinx fashion.
No, it's oh my god.
On a hot air balloon.
So in my notes, you can see it's very large.
It is very large.
Jinx's fucking party barge.
So she's got Echo and others from the Underground and the Tree Haven all in tow.
Yeah, so it's the firelights, and that's the first time in this season that we see anything in the firelights, which is fucking awesome. Like, I actually love that faction because they are neither Zon nor Piltover. They're the only ones that is trying to make shit work. And their color is green, which in a lot of like comic books, you'll usually have the two factions separated by red and blue.
Yeah.
But then there's a neutral faction that's green.
Green, yeah.
And so they are that.
They are the green faction.
So there's a couple things about that scene that make it amazing. One is it catches everyone off guard. And the second that like music started playing, I knew that wasn't just like the show like playing music. I knew that was actually a thing happening in world. Well, because the characters react to it. But when I heard that it was like bass heavy, I'm like, fucking Jinx.
It's like you could hear. I mean, I got surround sound upstairs, so that kind of helps. But like you could hear it like from the area of the surround sound, so you could tell where it was like it's coming from over this direction of screen, basically of scene.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I bet you.
Another cool thing, the hot air balloon has bunny ears.
Yeah.
And that's a reflection to the bunny that Vi gave her, all those years ago. Yeah. So it's still like, she still ties her sister into it. Also, like Jinx's look with the whole like mimic hood and like her hair looking like a big old tongue, just blah.
Yeah. And her, the return of the machine gun.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
So again, because music is important here, that song is, did I write it down? Come Play by Stray Kids, which is a...
Oh, yeah.
They're a K-pop group. Or K-rap, I guess. And Young Miko.
I think it was the other way around.
Well,
I think it's a Felix feature from Stray Kids. It's only Felix, I'm pretty sure.
No, well,
Or is that the
Come
wrong
Play
one?
is the name of the song.
Yeah, I think it's the girl's song, but Felix from Stray Kids is featured on it.
Okay. Yeah, and then Young Miko, and I guess it was produced by Tom Morello.
Yeah.
Which is why it fucking rocks.
And if you don't know a lot about Felix from Stray Kids, he's got crazy voice range, super good singer.
And so the lyrics are just amazing. Felix's first Korean verse is, when I pay you back, you'll be begging for more. You'll feel it deep in your bones the moment you open the door. There's no more game. The answer is none. The sight you'll never seen before. So it's like, okay, shit's going down. But then there's another verse that's in Spanish. That's what is playing when Jinx comes in. And I love how they have like her speakers are like, just like pulsing. It's like, it's so loud that it's like shaking the air itself. So the verse that plays when Jinx comes in, translated from Spanish, is, you acted like you didn't believe me. We arrived with the crew, ready to mess things up. Watch out. I've got a short fuse. I might blow up. Let's see if I light this fire and burn all your goods. You better ask for forgiveness than permission. I'll go with the flow. Like,
it might be all Stray Kids. I might be wrong on that. I might be thinking of a different song.
Yeah. But yeah, like even like if you were to listen to the lyrics as it's coming, it's like, oh no, shit's going down. Like, they're fucked. And in pure Jinx fashion, like the first attack she does, it's like paint bombs. It's like, oh, what are you gonna do? It's like, there is a military tactic. I can't remember what it's called, but what it is it's changing the environment, so you have to reassess what's going on. There's a very famous like Marine Corps story. It's called the duck grenade.
Yeah.
Where there's this Marine, he would go in as they're clearing houses, he would throw in a rubber duck, and they would be able to get the jump on. They would get the jump on him because they would have to figure out like, what the fuck is this rubber duck? And as they're trying to figure out what this new thing is, then they get ambushed.
Yeah.
So as Jinx is carpet bombing this whole area with what just seems to be just paint bombs, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? No, it's giving cover for all the Zonites coming from below.
Yeah.
So like Zavika's leading this charge, and it's just amazing.
And then as all of this is going down, and they're, because it looked before Jinx arrived on scene like they weren't gonna win this But
Yeah, I actually have before, right above Jinx's fucking party barge is Piltover's Lost.
yeah. So while this is going on and they're whooping butts, they finally get a shot off on Victor's cocoon, only to find that shit is empty, which I knew that already. I was like, there's no way they're just gonna pull that shit in there and be like, beep. And I was like, I bet you he's underground. And guess where he was? In fact,
He was underground.
He was underground with Jace, which I thought it was really funny when he got. Well, actually, let's talk about his appearance first. So Victor is looking not human anymore.
No.
And has got a. I didn't realize right away that the halo that he had around his head was from his freaky little like third arm thing.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So in the game, that's actually a lot more what he looks like. He's very like mechanical like that, and that third arm is actually one of his attacks.
Yeah,
like it's a laser.
And yeah, he shot shit from there.
Yeah.
But poor Jace is down there trying to undo all of this stuff, and Victor just like comes in and is like, Foop, and plugs it all back in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, poor Jace just spent like so much time unplugging all that shit. But then up top we have a new problem as the Zonites came in. We also have reinforcements for the other side of the Victor bots.
Yeah, and just lots of them.
And I like how Caitlyn, while still being stabbed, still wants to kick ass. She gets up and faces Ambassador and is like, "Hey, you want to fight?" Basically, and of course Mel is there. So it's Mel and
Kate versus Mbessa.
Yep. Then we have entrance of the new Warwick beast going after Jinx and Vi.
Yeah.
And Echo decides, I'm gonna crash this shit into the side of like the clock area of the tower.
Yeah, the whole giant hex gate.
Yeah. But thankfully they all are fine after the crash. Because the Warwick was getting Vi linked up to the, I don't know, what do you even call that? The Arcane network?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Victor network, I guess.
The Victor network. But the crash negated that, thankfully.
Yeah.
So Caitlyn and Mel are fighting Ambassa, and Caitlyn has a smart idea of, hey, I'm going to cut off her stones on her arm, and maybe that'll help us out, which it did. And then Mel's sister comes out of fucking nowhere land and kind of hoists her up with her vines. Yeah. This part didn't make a lot of fucking sense to me either. I don't know about you. Because the sister is obviously like killing Ambassa or whatever.
Yeah.
And Mel's like, nah.
Yeah, stops it.
Stops her. But then, like, Ambassa dies anyways. So I'm like, what was the point of that exactly? I didn't understand that scene.
I don't know, maybe it wasn't like a... well, because the Black Rose is, Ambassa's like arch enemy. That's why she's trying to amass this immortal army.
Yeah.
To eventually take them out. That's why she had a half child with them, so she could use as a weapon against them.
Yeah, I got why the Black Rose would be after Ambassa. I don't know why Mel tried
spared her. I don't know. Maybe it's just like the mother thing.
And she was like, "I see your true face," and then we get nothing else about that. And then Ambassa just dies anyways, and it's like, what? What was the point of that? Right there, I don't understand. Anyways, back to inside the clock, Delio. I don't know if there's another name for that thing, but it looked like a clock, so we're gonna go with clock.
It's the Hexgate Tower.
Yeah, Hexgate Tower. So
are they moving up at this point?
No,
because I started to kind of lose all control.
we're close. So they realize that there is no trace of Vander anymore in Warwick.
He's pretty much just beast.
He is gone, so they start fighting, and then they go to 0G for some reason.
Well, because that's the effect of the hex gate itself. Like, that's how it worked.
Yeah, but they didn't activate it. It's just other two dipshits coming up from nowhere.
Yeah, but it's fucking up is the thing that's happening.
All right, it's messing up. So yeah, they're fighting in 0G now, and of course,
that 0G fight's so good.
Yeah, it's cool. And Jace and Victor are also fighting, but they're coming up through the hex gate, and at one point, like, this whole thing crosses paths, like, they're going up, and
they're like just around.
The girls' fight is happening around them, and it's just like, wow, so much going on. Then
it's like the whole thing is very like Toriyama, very shonen.
Yeah.
Like, it's all just anime fight. It's so good.
Yeah. And then Victor, of course, like, unleashes.
Well, no. At one point, I think Jinx uses her Gatling gun as a rocket to just fly around.
Oh yeah. It's fun.
Over the top and insane. Which
Definitely
is absolutely perfect.
Would recommend watching that part.
What?
What? Oh, I said would.
Oh, I said would. I was like, are you
Christ? Calm down, man. Yeah, Victor unleashes the arcane everywhere for reasons still that kind of boggle my mind.
Okay, anyway, so you watched Evangelion, right?
I watched most of it. I didn't watch the movies, but I watched all of the shows.
Okay.
Didn't get to the movies.
So at the end of Evangelion, that's the one where, like, that's where all the weird shit happens? Like all the crosses and everything?
I mean, that entire fucking show is just weird shit happening.
Yeah. But specifically, what happens at the end of Evangelion, it's called human instrumentality, where...
I feel like I did get to the... That's the end of the show still,
yeah,
right?
like where Rey becomes, like, enormous, like, size of the planet, and then dies.
Jesus, fuck, did I miss a whole bunch of this shit?
All right.
I watched the entire show.
Well, yeah, no, I think this is actually this is the end of Evangelion. This is like the OVA after.
There's like 4 of those fuckers. I don't know which one to watch.
This is the one that actually matters. Like, this is where like Asuka dies.
Who? What the fuck?
Anyway, wrong show. But the idea of human instrumentality is everyone loses their individuality, but has one common goal.
Yeah.
Like
I know he wants like a common consciousness so everybody can understand each other.
Yeah, so it all of humanity, instead of being like our individual selves, everything is all just one. Any Star Trek fans listening, this is the Borg.
The Borg. And then we get Jace in the same position as
where he found his hammer.
Where the ruin in the ruined world where he was, which I thought was fun. I was like, ooh, look at that. But he also gets sucked into Victor's web of connection, which everybody in Piltover and Zon are now in that web.
I think right now I have Victor is basically God.
Yeah, except for one. Yeah. Except for Echo, which I think he's immune-ish because his trip to the other world.
So,
or did he just turn back? Maybe
there was there's a scene where like it's because like Echo's unconscious, so he hasn't actually been like touched by any of the people.
Okay.
When there's like a zoom out of Victor like trying to reach the last 2, which are Vi and Jinx.
Yeah.
But there's a third tendril that goes out but never reaches anything. And I think that one was meant for Echo. But because he wasn't conscious, it never found him.
See, and I maybe thought that he might be a bit immune to it because he traveled to another parallel.
That could be. He also has the advantage of, now, and it's like that whole run up to the top of the tower, where he can now, go 4 seconds back to the past. As he's getting caught by some of these things, he can keep going in reverse,
until he figures out a way.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he gets close to Victor, and it just cranks that dial.
Well, like he loses his grip on the crank to actually run the thing.
Yeah.
And it goes past 4 seconds, and he can't get out. So
he turns it to 4 seconds. He turns it
past 4 seconds. Yeah. So that's how he does get out.
Yeah. And then Victor and Jace have a nice little bro moment.
Well, they have like their ending.
Yeah. So then we find out finally that the hooded figure in the ruin was Victor himself.
Yeah, because he's
just
God
saying
now.
that like it wasn't worth it, basically. Like, this is how you undo. You got to do something about this and whatnot.
Well, that's the whole thing with, like, the whole human instrumentality. The Borg, they're seeking perfection through unification.
Yeah. And
Jace's message to him is, no, there is beauty in imperfection.
Yeah.
There's so much more value in not being perfect.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that brought him, in the beginning was, your leg, you had to come up with different ways to, figure shit out because of this.
Yep.
But yeah, the hooded figure actually goes all the way back to the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
And, like that's the good part of Victor that left him, was he always tried to find Jace in every universe.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. And they decide, hey, we started this together, let's end this together.
Yeah.
Basically. And as they're going through that, all of the bots disengage, and everyone comes out of the connection.
Yeah.
And the girls fall. And Vi kind of goes through like losing Vander all over again while looking at Warwick, because she knows he's not in there anymore.
Yeah.
And so the monster and Vi get in a scuffle, because of course it's still trying to kill her. And just as it's about to kill Vi, Jinx intervenes.
Yeah, just flying attack.
Yeah. Throwing both of them off the edge. Vi caught Jinx, but...
with the Atlas glove.
Yeah. And Warwick is clinging onto Jinx. And Jinx decides, nah, fuck it. And takes the hex tech
out of the
sphere
Atlas glove.
out of it, so it disengages and they fall.
Yeah.
And of course it's like completely silent during this.
Yeah. She was trying to eat your
Machipu.
keyboard.
And it's just silence as Jinx is falling.
Yeah.
And then she pulls out a grenade, and then we see just an explosion towards the bottom, and that's it. And of course Vi is flipping out.
Well, the last thing that Jinx says is, I'm always with you even when we're worlds apart.
Yeah.
So like even in like the last, like that was since episode 3 of season 1, that was, well, no, since episode 1 of season 1, that was the one thing that Jinx always wanted, was her sister.
Yeah.
Like, and although they did it many different wrong ways, they
ended up there. I think.
Always tried to pursue, that connection. Even when she's just being just straight up.
Even when they're trying to kill each other.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, we get that nice visceral stab to the heart. And then we get where, to the Q2 after all of this has gone down. And everyone together, they're all, like, gathering little slips of paper with the name of whoever they lost into bowls. And then they light the bowls on fire, which is cool. It gives a cool effect on, like, they're standing on the bridge between the two cities.
Yeah.
And all these little papers go up in flames. Caitlin and Vi are together on a boat for some reason.
Okay, so there's... it's very, very important that memorial takes place on the bridge, because it wasn't just like a wartime thing that Zahn and Piltover came together. Like, this is actually like they finally come together.
They're getting their shit together. And Mel leaves.
Yeah,
because she's the new, like, head person because her mom is dead now.
Yeah, so in Noxian culture, it's very like Klingon. Again, more Star Trek references. I'm sure everyone will get that. But they're a warrior race, so they value strength overall. That's why Mbessa was the way that she was, and so by besting Mbessa, she's now deemed the strongest.
And she's doing what she wanted to do, which is go back to where they came from.
Yeah, but now she has to go and rule Noxia.
Yeah,
which good luck.
And like obviously she'll never see Jace again because he's gone with Victor to who the fuck knows where.
Yeah. And then we get to
Caitlin and Vi are together and fucking off with the boat. And we also get Jinx is definitely not dead.
No.
Did you miss that part?
No, because okay. But like I'm actually fighting it now because like Vi is humming "Dear Friend" across the river, which is Powder's song, not just Jinx. It's Powder's song.
Yeah, but she's not dead.
Because the end, the words "the end" are written by Jinx.
Oh, not even that. Did you miss the part where Caitlin's looking through the computer at the tower, at the blueprints for the tower?
Yeah.
And it specifically zooms in on this air duct that would have been where the grenade blew up.
She blowed up. Oh.
No, she's not dead, dude. 100%. I can confirm for you, she's not dead. It got put in that air duct. I'm trying to figure out why, like, Caitlin and Vi just immediately fucked off. But Caitlin also didn't bring this up to Vi at all.
Because Caitlin's dumb. And I hate her.
That's kind of true. But yeah, so Jinx isn't dead. There you go. You don't have to be sad about it anymore.
No. Jinx dying is why that all makes sense and why that's meaningful.
But she's not.
If she lives, none of that means anything anymore.
She's not dead. Yeah, she's not dead. That was like a thing.
No.
So
I refuse.
Well, I'm telling you.
No, because for me, like the entire series from season 1, episode 1 to season 2, episode 9, especially this season, it's all about a story of forgiveness. And it's all the different things. It's Victor and Jace, like, both like, coming to figure out who they are. And forgiveness there. It's Vi and Jinx. It's Mbessa. Well, not so much Mbessa and Mel, but Silico and Silico and Vander. Like even like in the episode where Echo goes, in alternate reality, that's what Silico says. Like, well, sometimes you just have to forgive each other.
Yeah. Like
the whole story is about like forgiveness. And without Jinx being able to forgive Vi.
Yeah, but why does she have to die to get forgiveness? That doesn't make any sense either. That's like such a bullshit way.
Because the whole time Jinx is seeking death.
Yeah, I know. And I know that.
And so she finally can rest easy.
She's not dead though.
That's why she needs to die.
No,
it doesn't.
No. I think it's better.
Nearly hit as hard.
I think it's better if she doesn't die because. So here's what I think. So she got blown into the air duct, whatever. Mm-hmm. But Caitlin and Vi won't know that she's still alive because they immediately fucked off in their boat to wherever the hell. So there's no season 3 of this.
No, there's not. Then there won't be.
There never will be.
Well, there will be.
But there will be spin-offs.
Yeah, there will be other League of Legends. I think they've actually announced that it's one of the other champions, and it's Noxian based. So like Mel may be there. But yeah, there will be other quote Arcane series.
There's quite a bit of stuff in the works already.
Yeah.
I know they have at least 2 spin-offs that they're working on. Plus, if you think about it, there's no Jace. There's no Ambassa. There's no Caitlin. There's no Vi.
There's no Vi.
There's no Mel. So who's taking over Piltover? I can bet you a bottom dollar that we're gonna see some blue hair. In that kind of spin-off, maybe in the future.
But Jinx never wanted power. That was her whole thing. Is she could have unified Zahn, like many times. Never did, because that's not ever what she wanted.
Yeah, but she was stepping into that role when things got crazy. So it wouldn't surprise me if that is the role that we see her in next.
Also, Savika is like on the council now.
Yeah.
And like they have like other, well, I don't know, would you call them gangs anymore? But like like the Chemtech people, you know, they all now have seats on the council because they're in equal standing now with Piltover, which, you know, again was Vander and Silco's whole goal, and it took the death of, you know, not only themselves but someone who meant a lot to them to get that goal.
She's not dead though. We'll see her again.
All right.
That's why I was like, no.
Well, and that would
they can't hint at it that hard and then be like, oh, just kidding, lol.
No, that's also like the red herring, you know, to give you that hope. It's like, well, maybe she did. It's like, no, she's gone.
No, she's not dead. I've read enough stuff to know she's not dead. So we'll see her again sometime. Probably won't be for a long time, though. I'm guessing with the spin-offs and stuff. We probably won't see her for a while.
Yeah.
But she'll be back at some point.
So, all 18 episodes, like, did you have, like, a thing that, like, really stuck with you? For me, it's the music. Like, I hummed to myself, like, Dear Friend Across the River as I'm just walking around work.
That's definitely, like, all the music that was in that show was definitely your type of music. So I could see that for sure. For sure.
Well, hey, you said Paint the Town Blue is a certified banger.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. Like, I wouldn't listen to any of those outside of this context.
Oh, shit. No, I listen to the soundtracks all the time.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying all of those songs are right up your alley. So that doesn't surprise me that you're into
Town Blue.
In the music. I don't know. I just thought it was nice. I'd like to see more of that, the sister dynamic in the future, but I doubt we'll ever see that again if Caitlin and Vi are fucking off to who knows where. I'm guessing there'll be a side series with them doing their thing.
Well, there's a huge world.
Yeah, there's so many other characters and things going on there. And we also have the possibility of parallel universes, like with Powder's universe. Because she has stones, and she's a genius, so she could maybe make something out to join up with Jinx, perhaps, in the future. Which is where I thought it was going to go.
Yeah. There's also like some champions that weren't in, but would kind of fit. I can't remember her name. She's actually one of the characters that KDA was. Oh, okay. Where she's a support character, and she's basically a pop star, but she's actually from Zahn. Or was it the other way around? No, her parents are from Zahn, but she grew up in Piltover, and that's part of like her character. Yeah. So she's like a pop star, like bridges that gap.
Yeah. So I could see them going a lot of different directions. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff to explore there. It'll kind of depend on, I think, the atmosphere of when stuff gets released and how things go to see how much content we actually get. Yeah. Because people get feisty about seeing too much of one thing, apparently.
Yeah, and I mean, there was a whole huge thing where it's like Arcane is like, it was one of the most watched Netflix series, and like, you know. Yeah. And then they canceled it. It's like, I almost like it better that the thing had a beginning, middle, and an end.
They didn't cancel it. That was the thing. No, they were slated for 5 seasons, but it was only ever going to be 2 seasons of this.
Of this, yeah.
And the other 3 are the spin-off things, and that's the 2 that's in works, and another one that's they're still kind of figuring out. But I think that's where a lot of that confusion came to. Yeah. Was people thought, oh, there's going to be 5 seasons. And
well, if you don't if you don't have like a destined end of things, then you can't tell a story.
Yeah, it's harder
Like
to...
how I came to the conclusion of the whole thing being about forgiveness. Like if the fight between Vander and Silco didn't mean anything, or it meant something just in that moment, but you didn't know where everything was going to end up, it wouldn't tie things back together.
Yeah.
If not, we end up with something like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where it's just infinite and it keeps going. It's like, oh, here's another here's universal God that's going to try to destroy us.
Well, I mean, but that's kind of fair on Marvel's part because they do also have like a bunch of alternate universe stuff.
Well, yeah, but there's no end to any of that. There's no overarching theme.
No.
There's no
and
grand
there'll never
thing.
be an end to those characters either, I don't think.
Well,
which this might turn out that way. I don't know. We'll see. But
I mean, there's an end to a few of these characters.
yeah, some of them. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
I think it might be probably one of my favorite shows of all time. I don't also try like as far as like TV goes. Yeah, I'm a Trekkie.
I've never watched.
Expanse.
I've never watched
The Expanse is really good.
Any Star Trek. I haven't seen any Star Trek.
No, this might actually like take it. I mean, Hotel de Luna, which callback. It's actually the only K-drama that I ever saw, but there's moments in that hit real hard.
K-dramas get fucking wild, dude.
But all of the characters in this in Arcane are written so well, and all of the things. Not all of the things, but the majority of their interactions seem based in reality.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like some superhero thing. Like, all of these characters, whether they're good or bad, like, get their ass kicked at some point.
Yeah, it thinks about where they get their power from, too. It's just not just like, oh, this character's OP for no reason.
Yeah.
At least they think that out, too, which was nice.
Yeah, and, like, the fights that they have, like, are, more, like, reality-based as opposed to just, like, words on a script.
Yeah.
Like every time that Vi and Jinx get in a pissing contest, like they know how to fight each other and they fight like how real people fight.
Yeah.
And then especially in like the first season, like Vander, the way that he gives wisdom is very, very fatherly and it's very, very believable. Even to the point where he knows he's going to die, and the last thing he tells Vi is, "You've always been strong."
Yeah.
And Vi's like, "What the fuck are you saying? What does this mean?" Because like in that moment she wouldn't know, but like, oh, if this is an act of theater, it's like, "Oh yes, father, yes,"
Yeah.
Like no, it's just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like those elements of reality are really, really what make me believe that this is
and
good.
how quickly things go. Like a lot of dramas and stuff, they'll kind of drag out these emotional moments or whatever, but I think it does a really good job of, oh yeah, this is happening. This is how fast shit changes. This is how fast things go bad. Even with the last fight or whatever, all of that stuff happens so fast. But in reality, when you're in kind of conflicts and stuff, like that's how fast it actually goes. It goes fast. It goes quickly. Things go bad quickly. So I think it does a good job there as well.
They're also like really, really good at subtlety things.
Yeah, I love when people can weave shit together real good. That's a...
Yeah, and the artists were just fucking fantastic. Like every screenshot in that whole show is a painting, and it's amazing.
Yeah, just and the different art styles that they do too, and that's really neat. I don't think there's a lot of other things that just go that hard on so many art styles and so well. Oh,
and it's like the subtlety things. So Echo is very associated with the number 4.
Yeah.
Even to like in the intro.
Yeah,
like where
ticks like his shadow ticks like a clock.
It ticks 4 times.
Yeah.
And as it finishes, it makes a number 4.
Yeah.
He can only go 4 seconds back. When him and Powder are dancing, it's like choppy. Mm-hmm. It's at 4 frames a second.
Yeah, 4 frames a second.
It's like really, really cool. Like even like those little subtleties, that mean so much to the characters.
Little details are nice.
Yeah.
And all of the little just like the 1 second flashes of scenes and stuff is really cool. I like that too. But yeah, overall, we like it here in this here podcast. I know there's some complaints out there about this season for some reason. Didn't read any of them because I didn't care.
Yeah, no, it'll mean to me what it means to me, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. I suppose I will have to do the spins.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you have to
The spins.
get your... Because I think I'll be doing history next week.
My phone is at 11%.
God damn it, why?
Oh, we got to add a new category.
Oh, yes.
To wheel. If I remember how to do that.
We'll figure it out.
They changed the wheel app a little bit, and I don't like it much.
Man, if only someone just built us a damn wheel.
Oh, you know, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Ah.
So we have... what?
We are going to add random as a topic.
So our topics are culinary, history, books, games, fashion, music, and living things. And then we're adding random.
We are adding random because I feel like there's a lot of stuff that doesn't quite fall into one of our categories.
Yeah, we kind of just had everything lumped into history. It's like, well, this isn't really history.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this could move here, this could move there. Anyway, here we are.
We should do it as like subjects, like
Jesus Christ! I forgot how many goddamn options there are now. Okay, it's gonna let me do the thing. Oh, apparently it doesn't do the noise anymore.
Oh, that's less satisfying.
Look at that. I got the fucking random topic right away.
Hey, there you go.
We were just talking about this before the show. It's like, oh, if we get the random topic, at least we have a couple. We talk and shit happens. I don't know. That's just the way it goes. Let me write that down.
Oh, shit. I didn't write my joke. I know. This whole season has so many notes.
Yeah, I know. I have like pages and pages and pages and pages. Let's see. This much. This is how many pages I have. And I was like writing small and shit too for once.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna do yours first next week or mine?
I did this episode, so I think you'll...
I think I'll have to go first.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll have 95. 95. Okay. You got history last time?
Yes.
When we spun like
history.
Forever ago.
A million years.
Oh, man.
Actually, yeah, I was supposed to do that before we did all the Arcane.
Yeah, because I spun TV movies.
Like, you know what?
Fuck
this
it.
is our podcast. We do what the hell we want.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, I have to leave you with a joke. Oh, did I do this one already?
Otherwise, I have a backup.
I think I did that one. About the claustrophobic astronaut.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
He just needed a little space.
Yeah. God, what was mine? Oh, an engineer goes to hell and like fixes a bunch of issues they're having or whatever. Oh God, how did it go?
Oh, I know that one.
No, shut the fuck up! I'm gonna find it. Give me like 5 seconds. But the premise is an engineering joke, which is hilarious.
Oh, maybe that's not the one I thought it was.
Also, I've been getting a lot of videos of Trixie Mattel, the drag queen.
Oh,
they're fucking hilarious. Okay.
See, I think I have like a fear of clowns.
Oh, you don't like the makeup?
And so
Is that the thing?
so like how everything's like over exaggerated. It just makes me feel weird.
Okay. So an engineer dies and finds himself in hell. The devil welcomes him and sends him to a spot. When he starts to feel a little bit hot, he says, "It's damn hot in here."
He goes and fixes the air conditioning.
He starts looking around and finds an air conditioning box. He then manages to fix it, and there is now air conditioning in hell. And he's satisfied. He checks his phone, only to discover there is no cell service or internet. So he fixes that as well. And some other shit, of course. A week later, God comes down in hell and can't believe his eyes. He's like, what?
Everything is good.
The hell is going on down here? It's too good. And, of course, the devil says, You wouldn't believe it. We have an engineer down here, and he's been fixing stuff all over the place, and everything has been super great. And then God says, what now? Being an engineer, it's in your contract that you can't go to hell. So if you don't give him back, I'm going to sue you. And the devil laughs and says, good luck finding a lawyer. Because they're all down here. So yes, that was my dumb engineering joke that I had saw. And I was like, that would be a good one on there.
Yes.
That I hadn't written down all the way because I didn't expect to have to say it.
Use it. Yep. We'll come at you with even worse jokes next week.
Hold on. I think I might have a different one that I
Oh my God.
Give me a second. Give me 1 second. All right. I mean, there's that. I can save that one. This is one that I've sent in one of our group chats, and it says, to be honest, I'm not feeling automatic, supersonic, hypnotic, funky fresh at all. Which is, of course, a Black Eyed Peas song.
Yes.
Is it a Black Eyed Peas song? I don't know.
It's 1 2 step. Yeah.
Is it? Is it Black Eyed Peas? Or is it like Fergie herself?
I'm not sure.
Oh, God, I don't know. Sure. I don't know. All right. Well,
you're supposed to be the music one.
That's not quite my realm of knowledge.
Your cup of tea.
In there. Anywho, we have had an amazing time hanging out with you guys, and we are super happy you made it this far and through this series with us. Hopefully in the future we'll have more on this.
Yep.
If they make the spin-offs. If they don't, I'm going to go send them a strongly worded letter, of course. Because that's the sane person thing to do.
Yes.
You got any other words?
No, from our spaceport to your home port.
Signing off. Bye.